Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here. Chris Chibnall tells the Doctor Who fandom that Doctor Who should be epic, exciting and something special. What? What, Chris? What did you say, Chris? What did you say, Chris? We've only been telling you this since the whole of season 11, and what we got back was that we're sexist and racist and misogynists, and we're toxic masculinity. But you've just repeated what we've been saying, the real Doctor Who fans, all freaking season. So what did you give us? What did you give us, Sir Chris? Oh, you gave us a piece of dumbed down piece of crap, and which you call Doctor Who season 11, a boring, mediocre season. But now you're telling us that Doctor Who should be exciting, awesome, epic, something special and memorable. Oh, Chris, you really have had your balls handed to you by your employer, the BBC. This is what I told you. This is what I predicted would happen. I told you that the BBC were not happy with Doctor Who season 11. In fact, I don't think even Russell T Davies or Stephen Moffat are happy with season 11. Have you heard them come out saying how awesome it is, applauding it? They've been very quiet, haven't they? They think it's crap as well. We think it's crap as well. Look, everyone thinks season 11 is crap. Even the defenders, even Mr. TARDIS with his, ooh, the ratings are strong, the ratings are good. Get the fuck out of my fandom. You said horrible things about Doctor Who, right? This morning, he was on Twitter saying anyone talking about the audience scores on Rotten Tomatoes about Doctor Who, apparently any of us talking about that, he's surprised we can get dressed in the morning. You know what, Mr. TARDIS? I'd be more concerned about your subscribers. You see, someone like me doesn't need to worry about subscribers. What have I got, 360 subscribers? Who cares if I've got 200? The point is, YouTube for me is a place that I can echo my opinions. It's not a business for me. I don't care who likes me and who doesn't, who subscribes, who unsubscribes. Hey, I'm grateful to subscribers and I love you. But you know what I mean? I'm not gonna balance the tightrope just so you like me. I don't care if you don't like me. The reality is here, Chibnall was showing off about his Christmas special, because that's what it is. It's a Christmas special that was moved to New Year's Day just in case we offend anyone who doesn't celebrate Christmas. Boo effing who? Do you know what I mean? My mum's Jewish, right? But I still freaking celebrate Christmas because I love it. Because I brought up in the UK, I feel British. My father's a Greek Orthodox. My mum's Jewish, right? I respect both religions, but I'm not a religious person and I love Christmas. I don't get offended. No one should get offended. It's pathetic. The whole thing is a joke that he's now come out and said that Doctor Who should be awesome and epic. No shit, Sherlock, right? Of course it should be awesome and epic. Say what you want about Moffat, but his episodes were fantastical. It was pure escapism, and you can't take that away from him. This has been terrible. This has been boring. One of the biggest crimes of this season, the whole point of the concept of the companion or companions is to have great character dynamics and beats between the Doctor and his or her companions, right? Not only has this Doctor got no chemistry and no dynamic between her companions, they don't even have an interesting dynamic with each other. Everything is boring. Everything is uninteresting. You can keep on throwing misogyny at me and sexism at me. I don't care that she's a woman. I didn't want a female Doctor, but I was excited that maybe Chibnall and Whittaker could give us something new and exciting, but they haven't. They've given us something new and boring. Season 11 is boring. You can keep on defending it till you're blue in the face. Yes, Doctor Who has gone against the grain. You gave me an episode about the partition of India. I couldn't give a flying FCK, or how do you spell? How do you spell? And oh yeah, it's FUCK. Listen, I can't spell swear words, but listen, right? I don't care about the partition of India. Not even Indian people give two hoots about the partition of India. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to see that on Doctor Who. How dare I say that? Oh, I've got Indian friends and they told me they don't give a flying F-U-C-K, about the partition of India, or care about Amazon and how they're taking jobs away from people. It is not down to Doctor Who to solve the ills of the world. It's down to Doctor Who to entertain people, to take us into the TARDIS and take us to another time, another place, another world, and entertain us. If you want commentary about the real world, that's fine, but you do it in a way that doesn't bore the hell out of me, right? The Rosa Parks episode was well made, but it was boring. It was dull, like this entire season, right? So he's obviously had his balls handed to him. It's basically been told, listen, Chris. No, Chris has gone in, right, to the BBC after they review the season, right? Because we review the season, so I'm sure the BBC look at it and see what they want to change, right? So they go, what did you think then? What do you think of Jodie and blah, 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 and Bradley, and Yaz, and Ryan? What did you think of everyone? Did you enjoy it? I don't know how to put this gently to you, Chris, but I fell asleep. The reality is here, one of the target audiences was kids and their families. Kids and their families walked away. Kids got bored of this show. So with Russell T Davies, it was a new thing for Doctor Who, because Classic Who never had this. Classic Who was about kind of male and female adults who would watch it on their own. But what Russell T Davies did, and it wasn't something that BBC told him to do, he brought in mums, dads and their kids sitting together on a Saturday night enjoying Doctor Who. He brought Doctor Who to a brand new mainstream family audience, families, men, women, boys, girls. Everyone watched this show, right? And that tells from the ratings, right? This hasn't done that. All this has done is bored people. Now, credit to the Doctor Who fans. They stuck with it until the business end. But when you see the poor live ratings, and they were poor, listen, any other episode, 5 point whatever million, is quite solid. But for a finale, that's pathetic. You can keep on telling me it's higher rated than Capaldi's final season or his last couple of seasons. It's just like saying a brand new dishcloth looks fresher because it hasn't been used yet. It doesn't really matter. So the BBC have literally said to him, he was made to go back and reshoot that special. I'm sure of it. The only reason there's Daleks in that episode is because the BBC were just horrified by how boring and mediocre season 11 was. So it's hilarious for him as he's about to screen this episode, talking about Doctor Who being epic and awesome. It's a joke. It's a joke. But you know what? I'm a forgiving person because I'm a Doctor Who fan, and we let things go. We always come back for more, even if we say we won't. So if Chris Chibnall gives us a great Christmas special, because that's what it is, it's just been moved so they don't offend people, right? If he gives us an epic seasonal special, it's fine. I forget that season 11 is rubbish, and I have some hope for the future, because right now, after seeing season 11, there's nothing to be inspired about. Because as I say, even the people who defend it know it's not good enough. They know. They just don't have the heart to criticise. They're top Doctor Who fans, you see. They're loyal. They back the show. They lie about it. They pretend acceptable ratings are fantastic. They pretend this season is good. And this is why people like Mr. TARDIS are the enemy of this show, this franchise, and this fandom. Because sitting there pretending everything in the garden's rosy because you don't want to admit how bad this show is. You don't want to admit that this show's been hobbling along since Russell T Davies left. I mean, he never liked Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who. He was moaning about it all the time. When he comes to this, and when he sees the flaws staring him in the face, and he's, bullying and attacking other Doctor Who fans. Doctor Who fans are not misogynists. They're not toxic. We're just honest. We're honest. We want better because we had better. We had better in the classic series. We had better in Russell T Davies' era. We even had better in Moffat's era, right? And we want better. We want to be excited about Doctor Who. My one emotion about Doctor Who season 11 is that it was bloody boring. That's not an opinion. That's a fact.